Hey Scorpios, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your cards for August. I almost said July in almost every single video so far. I'm just not comprehending August yet. It's so funny. So let's talk about August for a minute, because I think the most important thing to understand, and one of the things that I'm picking up in all of these readings pretty consistently, is that things are going to start to get really tense, right? Mars is now entering his shadow phase. He will begin to approach his station in September, and there's a lot of pressure. It honestly feels like a pressure cooker. We're actually starting to ease into some other big outer planets, which are starting to, after August, all of these planets are going to start going direct. And that's going to be a time where things really start to move rapidly. Things start to change, outwardly. We've been doing so much inner work these past several months now. All of 2020 has been kind of the internal transformation. And so the last 6 months of 2020 is the external stuff. This is kind of like let the pieces fall where they may. At this point, I think for a lot of us, the more we are willing to surrender, the more that we're willing to understand that we don't know everything, we don't have all the answers, I think it's going to be easier for people to be kind to one another if you're willing to be kind and patient with yourself. Now, Scorpio, looking at the cards coming up, first card out is the Moon card. And I'm just wondering if the eclipses in the last month or so, or the last new moon in Cancer, may have been pretty profound for you. The moon could be, it could just be a really emotional time. People are more emotionally raw. We're more controlled by primal instincts, okay? Under the moon energy, we become in our flow, but if you're not used to it, although I think Scorpio operates well under, the energy of the moon, I think one of the things that Scorpio is known for is getting to the bottom of things. It's the search for truth. It's the exposure. It's things coming up to the surface. And maybe there was a lot of emotions between you and a situation or a person that came to a head. There was some sort of a culmination. There's some sort of an expressing of an emotion, the exposing of a situation, secrets coming out. And next to the Moon card is my Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so first of all, the Two of Pentacles in reverse represents sort of the releasing of control of a situation. A Two of Pentacles can be where we try to hold on to everything. We try to control outcomes of situations. It's sometimes where we need to, let go a little bit, let other people kind of do their thing. I think I had this conversation with, maybe it was Libra as well, is there's this element of allowing people to be on their own paths, to accept their own karma, and not try to control their decisions or sway them or, it's probably best as a Scorpio this month to kind of keep your feelings to yourself a little bit. Maybe don't offer your opinions as much, because I think what this energy is in the beginning of the month is the need to kind of control yourself from within. There's a lot of growth here. I say that because underneath the moon is a card of the North Node. So yeah, whatever it is that you found out, whatever information came in, whatever was exposed at this time, was definitely something that was meant to get you on a certain path. Certain path, because the overall energy of the reading is a Two of Wands. And this card is always a doorway opening, a path. There's something that the universe is trying to show you. And you are being divinely guided. If things are ending, if relationships are ending, jobs are ending, there's a greater purpose to it at this time. It's because they couldn't stay at the level that they were. They had to change. So as you change, the situations in your life change, and the things that no longer resonate with you, the things that no longer reflect who you truly are. And we're dealing with the moon, so we're dealing with deep emotions, deep authenticity, intimacy, trust issues. And when these things are triggered, these are moments in our life where we start to figure out who we truly are, what we really want in our lives. There's something about, I'm hearing, not knowing what you have until you lose it. And that's not to say that Scorpio is taking things for granted, because that's not typical of a Scorpio energy. But sometimes we have to experience the contrast, right? We're in Leo season, and it's all about the sun. And here is Scorpio with the moon card, right? So it's illuminating the darkness. It's illuminating things that need to be resolved within us in order to move forward and progress. Sometimes the moon can represent energies within us that could even be toxic belief systems, old patterns and habits. Sometimes those old things that come back to us at those opportune times, and sometimes the universe can kind of test you. And I think absolutely when planets are retrograde, things can feel a little chaotic. There could be a lot of pressure. And because in the heat of the moment may be the only way that we're able to make these decisions or come to certain conclusions in our lives, when we have no choice but to dig really deep or to think on our feet. The Two of Pentacles is when you let go. The Two of Pentacles in reverse is, it's dropping the ball. But the universe needs you to do that right now. Underneath the Two of Pentacles, you get wolf spirit. Turn knowledge into wisdom. There comes a time when things have to change. They have to transform. If you look at this Two of Pentacles, there's kind of the eternity symbol. And these patterns that we have can kind of go on forever. And when that card comes out in reverse, that's when you're able to break that cycle, break that habit, break that karma. And breaking through karma is huge energy right now. Listen, we're working our way towards the end of the year with this really awesome Saturn Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius. And this is a really powerful time, Scorpio. This is your fourth house. This is creating new foundations. This is the roots of who you are, your identity. This is family karma that you're breaking. You know, it's not an easy transit, but Jupiter in Aquarius is expansive, and it suggests that we're really transcending, we're really growing at this time. We're learning so much about ourselves, and we're ascending, and our knowledge, the things that we have been through, the tough times, the relationships that didn't work, the friendships where you maybe felt like you got screwed over, the jobs that didn't deliver what they had promised. All of the disappointments in your life have led you to where you are today. And North Node suggests whatever has happened recently and sent you on a certain trajectory, that where you are going now is where you're meant to go in this lifetime. This is your path. Wolf spirit is also a very wise energy, and it reminds me that there are guides and angels and ancestors from your past that are helping you through this. So if you are in a place where you may be feeling alone, have you gone through a breakup or the end of a friendship or isolation of some sort, you are not alone. And even in isolation, even in those moments where you could feel alone, you know, you might be getting a lot of downloads. Uranus is going retrograde this month, and that could be a lot of messages that come to you. Maybe in the dream world, maybe in meditation, maybe even just in conversations with strangers or overhearing things. Allow yourself to be led this month and pay attention to what speaks to you. Moon energy means you've got to allow that inner deep Scorpio to lead you, to kind of see through the dark. If you're in a situation where you really don't know where it's going, you really can't see the future, there's no clear indication of how things will turn out, then now is the best time to rely on your inner wisdom. You are coming out to me in the energy of the Queen of Cups, which tells me that you are really receiving now. And that's why being tuned into the universe, sort of speak, looking for signs and synchronicities, looking for the way that the universe is speaking to you. If you are open to receive that, if you're open to others at this time, if you are approachable, if you are soft, then I think things will come easily to you in August. It is your ability to adapt, to find forgiveness, and that's not just for others, it's for you. If you are still dealing, again, all these retrogrades, we're still dealing with things from the past, Scorpio. And if there are things in your past that you have not healed, now is the time. Now is the time for it to come to the surface. Now is the time to seek out maybe that therapy that you've been putting off, you know, the ability to talk to someone else, even if it is an astrologer. You know, for Scorpios, astrology is a fantastic way because you have that investigative mind. And you could spend years and years studying your own chart and how it applies to you psychologically, how it explains your emotional DNA, getting to know yourself better, getting to know your patterns can really strengthen your ability to get through this tumultuous time. And I'm telling you, the next couple of months will be chaotic. For the collective, things will be chaotic. They will be heated. Mars in Aries, I have been telling everybody it's a hot summer. It's the elections, it's the things in the media, information coming to the surface, conspiracy theories kind of coming to life. I heard somebody a while back compare 2020 to revelations in the Bible, and I thought that was hilarious. It's just like one thing after another if you look at what we've been through. And I think the Queen of Cups can kind of take a collective deep breath and say, wait, it can't keep going at this pace. I'm going to have to drop some of the things I don't have control over, right? I'm going to have to drop some of the things I simply can't keep up with. And I'm going to honor myself. I'm going to recognize how much has changed in my environment and therefore how much has changed in me. I'm going to forgive myself for any loss of patience. I'm going to forgive others if they have not been patient or kind towards me. The energy that you're in is deeply affecting the people around you, Scorpio. You have that magnetism. You have that power. You have the ability to control the energy in a room just by being in it. So I think the question starts to look more like, what do I want to create now? What am I leaving behind, and what do I want to start new? Now the Queen of Cups comes out like this next to the Page of Cups. She has her back turned to this Page of Cups. And there's an element, like I said, you need to be open. You need to be open to the universe because answers are coming. Queen of Cups, Page of Cups. First of all, whatever you're wanting, whatever your expectations are, because remember, you're in that receiving mode. You may not get all of it in August. They may be more like glimmers of hope. They might be more like conversations, dreams, little tidbits of what's to come. There's somewhat of a preview. You have to be careful because the Queen of Cups, who's in this mode of unconditional love, she's in control of her emotions, but willing to really love. It's that loving energy that you're putting out so deeply to those around you. But you cannot expect that to be returned to you right away. It doesn't mean it won't be returned in the future. But there may not be such a fast return on that investment now. And that means Leo season, the things that you have to do really have to come from the heart. There's no manipulation here. If you want to love somebody, if you want to help somebody, it is best not to do it from a place of, well, then they'll be there when I need them. There's nothing wrong with that energy. In fact, that's how the universe works, reciprocity. It's very important. So I don't want to diminish the idea of what goes around comes around. And I don't want to diminish the idea that we are here to serve others and expect nothing in between. all of the universe is about finding balance, right? There has to be a balance. But you may find yourself in a situation with someone or something in August in which you want to invest. You want to give your whole heart. You are ready to really take something to the next level. And the person that you want, the person you're expecting this co-creative energy with, just simply may not be in the space to offer it at this time. I don't get anything here to indicate that this person has bad intentions. In fact, I think maybe at best this person is offering some sort of an apology. You may be in the mode of offering forgiveness, which could be very healing to whoever is apologizing to you. Try not to have your back turned to conversations, because it may surprise you how healing they are and how they can be a catalyst for new beginnings in your life. I think it's important to understand that you're in new territory now. Mercury is finally out of its shadow. Venus is starting to move out of her shadow. We're in new territory. We are planting the seeds of the new beginnings. Now, I know I've been saying that. I've been saying that since January. I've been saying that we're entering new cycles. But my bet is what you really wanted, what you really pictured was going to be for you in January may be much different than the things that you want right now. They may look very different. Maybe in January you wanted to buy a new home, a bigger home, really expand. Maybe you wanted to go back to school. Maybe you had these really big plans. And then the universe kind of came and she quieted us, and she tamed us, and she changed things. We got to see things from a new perspective, and we became different people, and so our priorities shifted. And maybe now that brand new house or that new car took a back seat. Maybe you are changing a tone. Maybe instead of working 60 hours a week, you're cutting back because you're staying home with your children. And although it's different, it's not what you pictured 2020 to be. It's not the goals necessarily that you set. There's something really beautiful about this new perspective. It's like a brand new baby. It's something that we're nurturing. It's so brand new in us that it will take time for us to be able to really be able to express it outwardly to others. Your oracle card is the Angel of New Beginnings. And I can't express to you how true this is. And there is another doorway. See, I think the thing is, Scorpio, there's not a lot for you to do in August. I think you've done a lot of the heavy lifting. I think you've done so much work and so much transformation. And August says, take a break. Let things come to you. There just simply isn't a lot that you need to do. You've planted the seeds. The universe has a very clear idea of where you want to go. And they're working with you, and things are coming, and they're going to come in little pieces, little conversations, little accomplishments, compliments from other people, attention, I love yous, I'm grateful for you. Those will be the rewards in August. Your challenge card is the card of Justice. Libra energy. I definitely am getting October from this, a timeline of October. So there may be a lot of things that you're eager, Mars energy, we're always eager to get to the next place, you know? We're changing, things are changing. We are wanting things to change and transform. We're wanting to get out of the dark, out of the gray area, and we want to find a little bit of stability. But Justice card, first and foremost, your expectations will not be met before October. There's still work to be done. There's work within yourself to be done. Other people, you know, if you're wanting to join with somebody else, if you're wanting to co-create in some sort of way, if you're looking for a partner to start a business, if you're, you know, worried about your friendships, if this is even relationships with your children, Justice card means that everything will happen in divine timing, in their way, and that it will be fair. And that could be where you struggle. You could struggle just in the amount of time. There might be times when you feel frustrated, like, just come on, let's just get this done with. When I think about the Justice card, I think about our justice system, right? And I think about how nothing really happens very quickly. You know, there's schedules to be followed, there's priorities, there's work to be done. And, you know, the justice system, you have to build a case, you have to present your evidence. It takes time. And this too is going to take time. And even if all you're getting is an I'm sorry and let's start over, and I love you when you wanted a let's move in together, you know, it's going to be the little things now. And if you can tame down your expectations, if you could remain patient, and if you could not judge others harshly now, if they're really dragging their feet, if they can't reach decisions, if they can't offer the big things right now, the more patient you are with others, you will get that back. It will be returned to you. There will be a balance. It just may not be right now. Underneath that Justice card is the butterfly spirit, transformation. Absolutely. This is the theme of 2020, without a doubt. It is the transformation process. And a lot of the transformation is releasing the old. And that's where you're at. That's what you're still working on. If there is any sort of negativity, if there is anything toxic in a relationship or a situation that you're in, it has to be purged at this time. If you're wanting to get back together with somebody, if you're wanting to work on something, if there is a new beginning, a new start to something, the work will be in letting things go, in the actual forgiving. If you are walking away from a situation completely, you cannot carry any anger or resentment for that situation. So your job becomes soul searching. It becomes transforming, rewriting the story. If somebody cheated on you, if somebody broke your heart, if a situation was unfair, somehow, some way, if you reach deep down, you'll understand that it served its purpose, that a new version of you was born because of it. A new opportunity came to you because of it. And no matter how awful it was, no matter how hurt you were, if it was a blow to the ego, it was so that you could get to know yourself better. It was to get you on the path that you're on now. Maybe something had to happen so that you could see priorities better. Justice card, your advice from Spirit is the Fool. This is what happens when you purge. This is what happens when you do the work to forgive. If you're doing the couples therapy thing and you're really making an effort to forgive and allow things to be born into a new light, and to really focus on the positives, to focus on how beautiful things can become, focus on the emotions that are behind it, and letting go of that past. It allows things to manifest much faster because we're not carrying all that emotional baggage. It is the ending of that pattern and the letting go. It's the breaking free, letting things go that you just simply don't want to do, you just don't have the energy for. And when you let the burdens go, then things flow free to you. You become more creative and you're easier and more open to the universe. You know, if you're paying attention to instincts instead of trying to control situations, you know, if you're open to maybe it's a Tuesday morning and you have to get to work and you're running on a tight schedule, and it's one of those things where if you're late for this meeting, then it's going to throw the whole day off and you're really tightly wound, and yet there's like this overwhelming need to just call in sick and take a mental health day. Maybe go throw a fishing pole in the lake somewhere and just have some quiet time. It's really important that you're open to that energy. It's really important that you're open to instincts and premonitions at this time. Because underneath the Fool is adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Meaning you're getting close to a culmination. And that's something that's really clear for a lot of my signs too. You might feel like your destination is light years away and you're never going to get there. And yet, just like I started out the video saying, I can't believe it's already August. 2020 has seemed like the longest year ever. And yet it feels as though it's gone by so quickly. So much has changed. And things are only going to move faster from here. So it might feel like it's taking forever, but there will come a time when you will stop and look and you will say, how did we get here? How did this happen so quickly? Where did September go? Where did October go? It will move quickly. And the freer you are for those adjustments, the less attached you are to outcomes, the less stubborn you are, the easier the adjustments are to make. They won't feel like blows to the ego. They won't set you back as far as they have in the past. When somebody says something or does something innocently and they don't mean to hurt your feelings, it's just going to be like no big deal. You set your boundaries and you say, I don't really like when you say that, but then you leave it at that. And there's so much growth there. The adjustments that you're able to make so that the little things don't throw you off course so much. Now, I did pull some love cards. Oh, and I forgot your other oracle card. I honor how I want to feel. And this does come out underneath the North Node. This is more indication that you're really being led in a certain direction and that your emotions and your instincts are going to kind of take over. Practicality isn't so much a thing in August. You know, It's Leo season where we're kind of really living in our authentic hearts. We're being who we truly are. And so if you're feeling a certain way, if you're feeling like you can't continue in a job anymore, or you can't continue to live in a place anymore, you have to honor that. You have to recognize that it's time to move, that you're being moved in a certain direction, and allow Spirit to guide you. The love cards that I pulled specifically if you are in a relationship with someone, the Death card. This is very symbolic of something that has come to an end. Now, maybe it wasn't a full breakup, but maybe it was real close. Maybe there was some sort of an ending, and by that I mean if there is going to be a relationship, it cannot be the way that it once was. There is an end of a cycle here. This could represent, this could be moving in together because it represents that transformation. It represents change. Maybe there was an ending, but next to the Death card is the Emperor. So whatever ended, I see it as an opportunity for you to regain your control. An opportunity to get control over the situation. The Emperor is not swayed negatively by emotions. He's able to integrate all of the elements. He could see the future. He could see the path that he wants to go. He also embodies the King of Wands, so his heart knows what he wants, and he can move towards that goal with ease. The Pentacles, so there's a solid foundation. The Emperor is somebody that you can rely on. It's somebody that you can trust. If you've recently found out that you're with somebody who may have crossed a line, that may have felt like they betrayed you, I think there is an opportunity. Maybe there was a transformation and this person can be on a new path. There could be an opportunity for two people from the past to come back together and to really get forward progress in healing the parts of the relationship. Queen of Chalices, this is that element of unconditional love, of being in the receiving mode, of, maybe doing a lot of the emotional work where both of you are in an equal place of being able to receive love. Loving yourself, knowing your self-worth so that you could properly, love each other. It's really being emotionally open. It's allowing people to be who they are and to love them anyways. This is the ultimate patience. And then the Lover's card, which means there's balance. So ultimately, you are leading towards new balance within your relationships. If this is a job, if this is finances, whatever's being cut away, whatever's coming to the surface, it's so much of an opportunity to improve. You will come out stronger than you were ever to begin with because something happened. And eventually you'll be grateful for it. It might not be easy, but ultimately you will be grateful. All right, Scorpio, it looks like August is going to be a really beautiful month. And I'm definitely picking up a vibe of something really coming into fruition, things culminating in October. So just keep that in mind so you can adjust those expectations. It might really help you throughout August. All right, I wish you the best of luck. I send you all my love. Have a wonderful month. I'll see you in September. Bye.